looked into other ways that we can protect children, that we can, it was my job to respond to them. I took her down into the interview room where we used to interview children at Fremantle Police Station, and I interviewed her. But very sadly, she was there 6 months later to tell me about the other uncle who had started to make her play games she should never be playing. So, Dev, for me, I think that was the epiphany moment. That was the moment where I went, you just can't keep doing this.
No.
So I then looked into other ways that we can protect children, that we can, it was my job to respond to them, and I got a lot of job satisfaction responding to sexually abused women and children. And even though it's not a nice subject matter, having an understanding that I was helping them or either helping to seek justice, and sometimes it's not about that. And the older I get and the more I've been in that space, I've come to understand it's not so much about the justice, it's actually more about the healing. Justice can only do so much. It's more about the healing. So then I spent a long time, and I think it took me about 20 years before it actually happened, to change the way police respond to little children who may come in and give part of the story but not the remainder of the story. And so now, and in fact, my induction into the inaugural Women's Day Hall of Fame was about changing the way police respond to children. And no longer do they, there are, the way police operate, it's on, it's a criminal justice system, it's criminal courts, it's beyond all reasonable doubt, not on the balance of probabilities, and that won't change. But how we educate children can, and how we provide a service can change. And that was really what I set out to do. And it took about 20 years, but we ended up doing it. And what we changed was when those children come in and police don't have enough, but don't feel like they want to just show mum the door or don't want to say, come back. At least now they have an option. And that option is that they can refer them to protective behaviours education. And I had been one of the inaugural police officers who started the protective behaviours unit, and so I was well versed in protective behaviours. In fact, was instrumental in bringing a lot of the materials and knowledge to Western Australia through my role as a police officer, and then my ongoing involvement with Protective Behaviours WA Inc. when it became a independent not-for-profit group. And so we based our proposal on that. We based the proposal that when children come in and they give you part of the story but not all of the story, don't send them away, educate them. And so now what police do is they refer the child to Protective Behaviours Education, and Parkerville Children and Youth Care now provide that. Protective Behaviours WA Inc. used to, but they no longer. It's with Parkerville. And then they re-interview the child after the education. And a good number come back. And when they're interviewed again, like a post-educational interview, many children come back with enough information to allow police to then, take that next step. It's not a silver bullet, but it doesn't need to be. It just needs to be something that's helpful. Something that can remove the guilt from the child, something that can assist with removing the shame. And so towards the end of my career, it was really more about, not so much about the justice and not so much about law enforcement, but more about the healing.